This is MMA Lockup on Fox Sports 1190 AM The Fan. I'm Jeremy Hurt.
Cornered by one of our favorites, Mr. David Potter, coming out from New Jersey to help out.
So it's time to leave you a preview, so you too can review what we do. 20 years in this business, how you sell soul, she wins. People bear witness. Thank you for letting us be ourselves. So don't mind me if I repeat myself. These simple lines be good for your health, to keep them crime rhymes on the shelf. Live, love life like you just don't care. 5,000 leaders never scared. Bring the noise, it's the moment they feared. Get up, still a beautiful idea. Get up, throw your hands in the air. Get up and show no fear. Get up if y'all really care. You need 20 years, now get up.
On the line, we've got the owner of the Godzilla in the sporting goods and martial arts boxing supplies world. I'm talking about Dream Elite Entertainment owner, David Potter. David, how you doing today?
What's up? How's everybody doing today?
Doing pretty good. It's a little bit chilly, I'm going to say. I woke up this morning, looked at my phone. It's got a little temperature thing on there. It said -2 degrees, and I decided I wasn't leaving the house, and I fulfilled that goal so far.
Absolutely. It's the same way in New Jersey. I was blizzarded. I was snowed in for like 3 days, froze my balls off. I mean, it was crazy. It was absolutely absurd with the type of weather that we had in New Jersey. So it was cold here, too. And yeah, everything's going swimmingly, man. It's definitely been a lot of fun, and getting to know all the customers and getting to know them on a personal level, all the athletes and all the famous fighters. You know, it's been a lot of fun, man.
Tell us a little bit about Dream Elite Entertainment. I find that fascinating, honestly. You've been playing it through high school, and here you are making those plans into reality. I would be lying if I said I had plans in high school, but I can say that I have succeeded in not putting into action the plans I didn't have. So tell us a little bit about Dream Elite Entertainment, and everything that falls under that umbrella, and what y'all got going right now.
Well, Dream Elite, it's first off and foremost, the name Dream Elite is really a combination. Me and my friend Jeff, God rest his soul, he passed away, childhood friend, and he passed away just around 2 years ago. So that's when I really put the company into motion. Dream Elite is a combination of two failing companies, Dream, which is Dream Fighting Championships that happened in Japan, and Elite XC, two promotions that had big dreams, big ideas, but fell flat. Dream Elite is a combination of both of those names, and that's what it really is. It's a tribute to the sport. It's more like, think about Kill Bill. Kill Bill was developed by Quentin Tarantino to be kind of a love letter to mixed martial art movies, and, you know, obviously you'll get her yellow tracksuit. It's a tribute to Bruce Lee and The Game of Death, that movie. I think of Dream Elite as a tribute to all the great mixed martial artists, all the great mixed martial art websites like MMALockup.com, Don McGuire, who I'm a big fan of his photography. Basically a tribute to all the sports and all the great fights that I spent years watching, and all the great companies that made the sport, like MMA Lockup and all the great companies like that helped make mixed martial arts where it is today. So that's what Dream Elite is.
Well, I tell you, David, we've been doing these interviews for a while, and I believe that that's the first time that someone has related something to a Quentin Tarantino production, so I'm pretty impressed. I had to bring this up. I was planning on bringing this up a little bit later, but it seems like I got a segue, and I do such a poor job of taking advantage of those, so I'm going to actually hit one for a change. You talk about this. Don McGuire, I was talking to him earlier. He tells me that you're a man of the theater as well. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I've done a lot of shows as far as pro wrestling and MMA is concerned. Basically, and plus I had a career in mixed martial arts as well. I had fights under my belt. I fought two great champions, Andre Bukaris and David Gus. David Gus from Kentucky. Andre Bukaris, a champion in Vermont. I really found that between winning and losing, I really didn't care much except for entertaining the crowd and entertaining the fans. It seemed like their happiness overrode whether I would win or lose in mixed martial arts. So that's really the motivation and the incentive I had to start Dream Elite. You know, it was never about winning or losing with me with this company. It's never about being the best with Dream Elite. It's all about pretty much entertaining people, pretty much making people happy. And I don't care if you buy a shirt from somewhere else or you buy it from me. As long as you talk to me and we talk to each other on a personal level, sharing our love for the sport of mixed martial arts, I'm a happy guy, too. So I really put myself out there, and listen, I'm willing to do anything it takes to entertain a crowd, anything it takes to make a crowd happy, anything to make my customers happy as well, and I bring that over to Dream Elite itself.
So David Potter is a showman, obviously. That's clearly what we're hearing here.
That's it.
Obviously, speaking of Godzilla earlier, the Godzilla of this sport, UFC. 2013, big year. You talk about showmanship. They brought a little bit of everything. The women's MMA game really got kicked off for real in 2013, I think. I've called this repeatedly, and I'm still thinking it's going to catch on sooner or later. 2013 was the year of the fights of the year. Tell me, David, what did you think about 2013 UFC specifically? I know, obviously you have a great passion for the sport that comes through. You mentioned Dream, you mentioned Elite. There's really a whole host of promotions that have been left in the wake of UFC as it keeps churning along and kind of consolidating. What do you think about the year that they just had, and where do you see the organization going here over the next year?
You know what? I thought the year 2003 was great strides in the sport, but also great setbacks as well, and a reminder of setbacks that I even remember, like the GSP fight. The GSP fight, of course, with Hendricks. I knew, and if you look on my Facebook too, I was talking to people, I'm like, GSP won that fight. Because I knew even 20 years later in UFC that the sport hasn't evolved as far as judging is concerned. So I pretty much called the fight that GSP was going to win 3 rounds to 2 just based on judges' scorecard and basically boxing judges trying to play mixed martial art judges and judging the fight itself. So I thought the UFC year, as far as that's concerned, was great setbacks. But as far as women's MMA, that was huge, especially Ronda Rousey in her fights with Carmouche and her fights with Miesha Tate.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I thought those fights, pretty much everyone put women's MMA on the back burner, even though they had great fights in Japan with Smack Girl, even though they had great fights in Strikeforce. MMA for the women's divisions have really been put on the back burner, but now it's showcasing, and some of the women's fights are actually better than some of the men's fights. So I thought we made great strides in the sport as well through that and reaching a different demographic. I think the fans also need to evolve as well, and that was a minor setback for mixed martial arts and shows that our fans need to evolve. And when the MMA boom happened in Japan, you notice that Japanese fans, they never criticize, they celebrate both winners and losers.
It's a very different culture, very different. You can tell just from watching the show and the reactions, a different level of intelligence and understanding.
Absolutely, yes, sir. And the biggest problem, too, especially Chris Weidman, Neon Shin, that is a technique you would have to drill over and over and over again. But for fans to say, well, that was a fluke, I mean, that's like a game-winning situation, a dangerous field goal about to be kicked, and someone blocks it. You call that a fluke? I mean, I think the fans need to educate themselves a little bit more about the sport as well. I think the fans need to evolve with the sport as well. But 2013 was the year of great strides and also setbacks that are pretty much throwbacks from way back in the day where UFC was just trying to come up from underwater.
First of all, let me say, go back a little bit. I agree with you 100% on the judging. I feel like if you look at all the evolution that has occurred in the sport over the last 20 years, and I think a lot of the people plugged in at the higher levels of the sport would agree with me here. You can tell from their comments. I think the judging has been one of the slowest things to evolve, personally. To go back to the fans and as far as their intelligence level coming up, this is sort of something I want to touch on because obviously, again, the UFC is the big guy in the room, but one thing that happened in 2013, you started to see a real proliferation of the UFC gyms, and you started to see MMA gyms, I think, kind of coming into their own a little bit more. I think that evolution of the sport, the next step that has to take place is that you have to start seeing the ranks filled from A to Z. It's not enough just at that top tier. I think you start seeing, when you have more participation from Joe Sixpack that's actually going to the gym and that's actually learning how to do a sweep or, learning how to sprawl or shrimp or whatever the case may be. I think that will go a long way towards evolving the sport kind of organically.
Correct, absolutely. I completely agree with you 100%. I think the fans need to go to the gym, take one class. I mean, I've been getting busted up at MMA gyms from Boston to New Jersey to New York. I've been, and that's what educated me on the sport as well. And I think fans, if they just take one trial class, go to Endgame Combat Sports in New Jersey or go to Courageous Mixed Martial Arts in Michigan, go to the top tier gyms, get pounded out for one day, and you'll really realize what it takes. I mean, even checking kicks. Checking kicks is extremely difficult. And I remember walking out gyms in Boston, walking out the gym and barely walking. Just was checking kicks, and I felt it the next day, and I felt it the next day after that. You know, I think if fans will go to the gym, take one trial class, go to these great gyms across the nation, and just educate themselves on the sport, they'll really look at the TV with a different point of view as far as the mixed martial arts is concerned, as far as, you know, it goes back to a lot of people would still boo when you go to the ground. When you and I, we watched the ground game, we're interested because it's like a chess match. But some of the fans don't really grasp that concept, considering they've never been in that situation, that peculiar situation. So I think the fans will evolve. Start going to the gym and start taking a trial class. It won't hurt you. I mean, maybe it will hurt you, but you'll still grasp the understanding and gain a new appreciation for the sport.
And, you know, again, I think this is where the sport's headed. One thing I wanted to touch on, you were involved with the organization, I believe it was called Fight for Life, where you you were working with wounded fighters, is that correct, or do I have that a little bit off?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Fight for Life, I'm touching upon my friend Jeff, and this is a touchy subject to begin with. And Dream Elite wouldn't even be here today if it wasn't for my friend Jeff. Jeff, my best friend from high school, we wrestled against each other in high school. We pro wrestled together. We trained mixed martial arts together. He committed suicide. 2 years ago, last month. My friend Nicole, who we were planning a project, and 2 weeks after we last talked about the project and everything like that, she again committed suicide. And of course, Barry Meyer, who influenced so many people, and me standing on the sidelines influenced me. He wrote the blueprint on how to pursue what you love and, you know, drop everything for your passion. And, you know, he influenced so many people, and including me, and passed away to similar circumstances. So Fight for Life. And again, I was originally sponsoring a fighter named Drew Morris. And Drew Morris is a very stand-up guy, and I didn't know how comfortable he'd be with this all going on. And that was my big winter. December was huge for me, considering it was the second anniversary of my friend's passing. My friend passed away that week, and I said, well, instead of promoting my business, how about, and having my business logos on there, how about we just do this campaign called Fight for Life with yellow ribbons that represents suicide prevention, and we raise awareness through the sport of mixed martial arts. Fight for Life, you're in a fight, and obviously your life's on the line, but it meshes perfectly together. And, you know, we raised a lot of awareness. I talked to one of the groups from there. They said a lot of people there was a lot of traffic going on that week when we started promoting it. And to raise awareness in our friend's honor, to raise awareness to a great human being, a stand-up individual like Drew Morris, who won his fight on XFC, and, you know, he's a stand-up guy, and he was representing stand-up people, and it was a beautiful concept, and we're going to continue doing it.
Well, I tell you, David, as a veteran myself, I'd like to extend, you know, sort of a thanks, tell you much respect for anybody that's working to fight against suicide. It's a horrible thing. You can't always put yourself in the mind of someone else, but you know, the effects are felt obviously far and wide.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I went to a dark hole when my friend Jeff passed away, and dug myself out through Dream Elite, and, you know, following our dreams and finishing what we started years and years ago. So I definitely feel you on that, brother.
Well, David, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Looks like we're about out of time. Just real quickly, though, go ahead and give us some URLs where we can get a hold of your stuff and get a hold of your supplies. Like I said, do you provide gloves? What gloves? Short? Like what all do you provide through Dream Elite?
Correct. We provide anything and everything with mixed martial arts. We provide news feeds, we provide sponsorships, we provide videos, we provide educational things and material on the sport. If you go on our website, thedreamelite.com, we provide gloves, we provide shorts, sweats, pretty much every imaginable gear you can possibly name is on our website. And also you can go on Facebook.com/TheDreamElite Entertainment. We actually just hit 3,500 likes, and so far so good. Everything is very, very fun. Our consumer is very fun. Our main demographic of mixed martial art fans, boxing fans, pro wrestling fans, they're a lot of fun when they go on the website and communicate with each other. So hit us up on Dream Elite Entertainment. It's been a lot of fun.
All right, sir. Well, again, big thank you for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. You're welcome back anytime.
I'm a big fan of you guys. Thank you very, very much for inviting me. God bless.
Yes, sir. And before we get out of here, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to? Any partners? Anyone?
I want to give a shout out to everybody that helped me get to where I am right now. I want to shout out to every single person that was detrimental with Dream Elite and detrimental to what happened and how far we have come. You know, I owe you guys everything, and thank you, and I love you forever.
Absolutely, folks. That's David Potter, owner of Dream Elite Entertainment. Make sure you check out his website. We'll have a link here with the interview on our Facebook and on the website. This is MMA Lockup on Fox Sports 1190 AM The Fan. I'm Jeremy Hurt. Make sure you check out the website, MMALockup.com. Also follow us on Facebook and Twitter at MMA Lockup. Don't go anywhere. More to come when we get back.
By the river.